A little figure of some strange animal. Something tells me those are Bergrun's missing hunters. I don't suppose you three know an Osram and Song's edge called Bergrun, do you?
Boys, that con artist sent an errand girl to collect what's owed to him.
I'm nobody's errand girl. Bergrun asked me to help harvest parts. Or would you rather keep trying to sell him broken junk?
Broken junk?
This pack will be on the move soon. No time to argue. If she's offering to help, we should accept it.
Fine. We're about to take down these machines. If you're so eager to help, then lead the way.
Than us, huh? Nobody. That's who.
No space.
All right, Outlander. You want to talk about our...
That's done. You three are pretty handy in a fight.
Thanks, I guess. Not that we needed your help. We are doing just fine without...
That's not the way Bergrun tells it. He says you tried to settle up with him using a shattered Thunderjaw heart.
What? That's an exaggeration. It was only broken in two.
Urkai, we don't have time for this. Come on, boys, back to the hunt. We still need 2 more of Bergrun's components.
What's the rush?
We want out of these lands as soon as possible. That's all you need to know.
I've got the Scorcher Claw Bergrun was asking for. That only leaves the Stalker Sinew and the Snap Maw Fang.
You should hold on to it. You're coming along to the next hunt after all, aren't you?
I suppose somebody's gotta keep you three out of trouble.
Fine. I guess you'll have to tag along then. But don't start thinking you're one of us. The Bloody Snowdrifts aren't accepting new hunters.
Bloody snowdrifts? That's what you want?
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not like your names are any better.
You.
We're headed northwest, to the ruins near Hollow.
Might need that. There's the herd. Everyone ready?
Are you joking? We were born ready.
Nope, that's awful.
It is a pretty bad name. Good effort, though.
Forget it. Let's just go kill something.
But I know how to stop it.
Her to finish cutting out the part.
Can't be too prepared.
I don't know about you three, but I feel better. Aloy, did you get that component?
Can't carry more. That's another part down. One more and you'll have what you need to pay off Bergrand.
Starting to feel real, you know. I'm starting to believe we're really gonna get out of here. Honestly, I wasn't sure we'd survive a week without Nakoni. But here we are.
Who's Nakoni?
Nakoni was... She was a friend of ours. She challenged it.
She didn't make it.
No. If you're gonna tell this story, tell it true. She was murdered.
Is this why you left Banor? Because of this business with Nakoni and your chieftain?
Onakut knew Nukoni was our mentor, our friend. We couldn't stay.
That final night, we snuck back to camp, packed what we could, and left.
Like cowards.
What are we to Ty? We are Banuk, aren't we? Survive and prevail. That's what we do.
It's not what she did.
I'm sorry.
It's nice to be heard.
Look, it doesn't matter, okay? What happened in Banor is buried in Banor. What matters? That's where the burning turkeys are gonna make a name for ourselves, right?
Oh, the burning turkeys!
It rolls off the tongue.
Sort of like vomit.
So, where to next?
There's a lake just west of here. Seems like a good place to find a snap mark.
If you beat us there, just wait by the campfire. We'll be along.
No sign of them yet. Guess I'll just sit and wait. I was starting to worry about you three. Everything all right?
We took our time. After our last conversation, we had a lot to think about.
I can imagine. Just one more hunt, then your debt is paid and you three can make your way south. Ready?
Huntress, the Sunshine Snowshoes await your signal.
Horrible!
I'm almost impressed, Dulamok. Didn't think you could come up with a name worse than...
Well, I liked it. Let's hunt.
Breath is ice. Before I even breathe out. Not much gets past them. I'm out.
Got it.
Come here, Aloy. Let's have a proper
I'd have to ditch
fight, huh?
something. There. That's the last of...
For now. Until Urkai breaks something else.
It was one time!
You make a nice shaman, Aloy. Thanks for lending a hand. Maybe we'll meet you in the...
I guess this is goodbye. How does it feel?
The only thing I would have missed is already gone.
Let all those rotten Banor suck-ups freeze to death.
That's a little much, Urkai, don't you think? Nukoni, friend and guide. When Onakut took her from us, it felt like he stripped us of our identity. It's strange. What is it to be Banuk after Banur forsakes you? How do we decide? How about you, Aloy? Who do you think we are?
You do more than just survive. You believe in something, and you're willing to fight for it. Nukoni was willing to die for it.
I like that. Nukoni dreamt of a Werak without shamans or chieftains, and we might be that dream.
Nukoni's arrows. That's what we are. Shot from her bow in the north, to hit her target in the south.
I know I'm not part of the Werak, but that's the best suggestion I've heard since I met you three.
Yes. Nukoni's arrows. We will try to fly true. Thank you, Hunter.
There was an old Banuk tradition to determine who had the strongest will. Some parts of Banor still use it. You take a hot coal meal.
Bergrand, how'd your investment pay?
Quite handsomely, thanks very much. Do you know those three crazy Banuk are calling themselves Nukoni's Arrow? Well, now that I have those parts, I can pay off a debt of my own.
So they've gone south then?
Aye, that they have. I've got a friend in the Sundom by the name of O'Toole. He owes me a favor. Old O'Toole is a machine scavenger, a pretty competent one. So I sent them to learn from the best.
Or at least from the pretty competent.
Well, we work with the resources we have. Speaking of which, here, a token of my gratitude.
Outlander. It would be my... I've heard of you, Huntress. Each of the many verses of your song tells of an impossible victory.
You shouldn't believe everything.
That I know. My song used to echo around Banur. That's why I'm here. For another. They call it the Claws Beneath. Or they did its defeat would have given my song a fine end. I used to travel between Banur and the Cut without stopping to sleep. But you, out hunting Aratak, leading your own Werak. If half your song is true, you are the only...
You want me to hunt for you?
Not just for me, no. For an old friend.
This is obviously important to you, Umnak. Are you sure you want someone else?
No, I am no longer a match for the Claws Beneath. If I ever was. If I face it, it will kill me. Of this I have... The Banuk blood in my veins screams at me to take on the Claws myself. But I must see it, and dead men see precious little. A friend of mine. He died while we hunted. Would spilling my blood on his grave make him happy? Would it bring him...
All right, Umnak.
I've no doubt you can do quite a lot. The stories say the Claws Beneath. The whispers I've heard say it now makes its home on the northeast edge of the country.
Machines in the south suffer their own sort of corruption. option.
You're Aloy, right? My pop... Bergund, I mean, told me you might be... Hey, that spear is really something. You've cussed...
I've made a change or two. You've got an eye for weapons.
I wish these Banuk agreed with you. I can't seem to sell scrap to a Glentalk around here. Everyone wants... I like the more unusual stuff. And the Banuk can get unusual. Like that spear Aratak hauls around. An ice... Ooh, or that weapon of Araya's. What I wouldn't give to poke around inside one of those. Feel the lightning on my finger. Or inside of anything, really. Last commission I had was a month ago. A weapon that spat fire.
So, let's say someone you know happened to have a weapon like Araya's.
You don't.
See for yourself.
Of course. Look at the... So the coils generate the spark, but the power source isn't even bolted in. I won't lie. She's beautiful. But there's beautiful and then... What we need is a Stormbird Talon. Lightning flows over them like water off a goose. And I know where one is. Hunt it with me, I'll turn that weapon into your new best friend. And second best.
I've got an ice rail. Just like...
Are you serious? Okay. Obvious design flaw. Right. So, believe it or not, she's operating at, let's be generous, half her potential.
What's with the she's?
Well, listen. If we had a Thunderjaw's mandibles to work with, her gears would be well... And I know where to find one. If you want to go hunting with me.
A weapon that spits flame, huh? I took this thing off an Oseram bandit. Why don't you... Remind me what we need to fix...
That Thunderjaw's mandible.
You're sure you can...
You bet!
This forge fire...
Like I said, a Bella...
So we need parts from a Stormbird and a...
That's right. It's gonna take... We can find a Thunderjaw out in the Valley Meet, and a Stormbird roosts near the Free Heat. I'll pack and meet you out there. This'll be...
Okay.
I saw the frozen torment many years before.
Long Notch is well stocked, as you... But our purpose was to take back the mountain. Now what?
Stay prepared. Sharpen your spears. Should we not return, defending the... If our chieftain agrees with his cores.
Sounds like good advice, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Chieftain?
The weight of command is no small burden.
I can see that. I take it you haven't spoken...
Why should I? This is what she wanted, to return to Thunder's drum. So I should have known she would find a way to push aside my... After the Karja took my sister.
What happened to Araya?
As a shaman, she's adept with machines. Tracking them. The Karja used her to capture them for the Sun Ring, where they were unleashed upon the innocent. They made her...
She survived.
She endured. Endured by reminding herself of the spirit, her purpose. But now that's all.
Tell me what happened to the first expedition.
Rhea led the way to the summit, but it was blocked by a great door. We tried to break through, but it was unflinching. We were exhausted. I made the call to push back. It cost us greatly. I had hoped to never subject a rape.
What do you think is beyond that?
I do not know. That expanse of metal, machines and death. That's what the mountain holds.
And if we do find this...
Then perhaps we should put it out of its misery.
For what it's worth?
Someone has to keep Araya.
bad day for one of us. That should do it. Varga can finish her forge fire now.
Sure feels good to be out of knee-deep snow. So, we've got a Thunderjaw. I'm ready to do this. On your lead.
There. Svarja should be able to fix up the ice wall. Found the part. Ready to...
I am always ready to fix up a wet.
Never thought I'd...
I sure am. Trust there. I adjust. More be...
I've got what...
She's...
I'll look...
Nah.
You've
Told ya.
Thank...
Pleasure.
We'd better...
Look.
Varja said she could improve the Stormslinger with this. Got that part you need?
Perfect.
Here it is. One storm.
Let's do it. I haven't... Watch and learn, Aloy. Only... Okay, so I pretty much had to break her in half. But what's a staff? A stick. One thing I like about sticks, you can put them back together however you want.
Which you did. This thing looks a whole lot more...
She's better than dangerous. She's a genuine Varja.
Thanks, Varja. These 3 weapons are...
Are you kidding? I can't remember when I had this much fun. I should be thanking...
I'm the one walking away with the weapons, aren't I?
It seems wrong to charge you for giving me an opportunity to do what I love doing. Don't tell Pop I said that. Here, whenever I tinker with weapons, I go through fistfuls of this stuff. Maybe you'll get some use out of it.
Not gonna be a problem overriding that lance horn. Catching it, though. The northeast edge of the cut. Boomnock said I'd find the claws beneath nearby. said you were tough. For later. Got one. Breath is ice. Before I even breathe out. It's over. It wasn't easy, but that rock breaker won't...
The claws beneath brought low by an outlander.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to that.
I've found people rarely live up to their songs. You're an exception, though. And you've done me a true kind. My foe is buried now, like so many of the hunters. My friend, my chieftain. You would be pleased to know his fate won't befall anyone else. Take this in thanks. I believe you've more than earned it.
Aloy, this is it. My chance to reunite is not a chance I would have had alone. I needed an outsider. Someone ignorant. No, not ignorant.
Are you trying to thank me, Ourea?
Yes, of course. That's what you do. Untangle not I only wish it had not been necessary to humiliate. You were wise to let him come. He's earned the right. Stubborn as stone, but he's had to be. And so have I.
What did the war do?
He cut away everything, until only his true self remained. No Banuk has more sheer will. He fought the Karja for 1,000 freezing nights, yet always, it is said he endured 23 wounds in those years. His hunters counted them. He never complains of one. Instead, he complains that life with me's right. What have I ever given him?
Now that I'm chieftain of the Werak, I don't suppose...
Aratak would never have presumed to grasp for a secret but you are not Aratak, and if you have dealt with Sylens, your need is well apparent. Sylens came to Ban-Ur from the distant north, a young shaman of the Owl's Watch. A remote Werak that rarely comes south to parley.
Sylens was a shaman.
He was. Or at least, when we sent runners to ask the Owl's Watch, they said he was. His knowledge of the machines was beyond compare, and he was hungry to trade what he knew to the rest of us. It didn't take him long to gain the trust of the Conclave, and eventually, an invitation to attend.
What about you? Did you trust him?
No. But he impressed me. He carried himself with poise and authority. I wanted to learn. He was granted knowledge of our most sacred meeting place, the frozen caves of the Malmstrom, a month's march from Ban-Ur. He met with us there, as is custom at High Winter. But when we next returned, the caves had been looted. Relics of the old world stolen. Holes cut in ice and metal.
Yeah, that'd be Sylens, all right.
He vanished with the spoils. We sent our best trackers after him. None returned. And when we checked back with the Owl's Watch, those who had vouched for him were gone. As though he never existed. Some in the Conclave began to doubt he was even Banuk to begin with.
And what do you think?
He committed an unforgivable sacrilege. He's unscrupulous and dangerous. But also brilliant, skilled, and knowledgeable without equal. Except anyone else I would warn off. But you may be able to treat with him safely. Just don't lower your...
I'll keep that in mind, Horea. What are we gonna find up there?
Ruins. Machines. And a door, like that of a cauldron. For beyond it lies the spirit. I know I can find her there. Though I do not...
It hasn't been easy for you, Horea.
It was all to hear her voice again. This time.
I'd like that.
Are you ready then? Once we ascend? Finally, we ascend.
How? I don't see a way up.
Not up. Through.
No, brother!
Please remain calm and proceed to the nearest exit. I repeat, this is not a drill.
So you see,
Please remain
I
calm
too can
and
call upon the
proceed to
power of the
nearest
old ones.
exit.
What was this place?
The spirit once told me that this all used to be part of its domain. A fortress that defended humankind from terrible danger.
Fortress. It looks more like a machine.
Is that not fitting? Blue light often dwells in machines.
Let's just hope that some remains here.
Here, up and over.
Machines. At least we have the drop on them.
We must climb higher, and our path will become clear.
Might need this.
If the chieftain's pace is measured, ours is measured.
Yes, this way. Not much farther now.
Last we were here, we fought our way through there. The machines overcame us. We retreated, dropping supplies and taking losses. Now we must prevail, with only 2 warriors and a shaman to protect.
Aloy is no ordinary warrior. And I can hold my own. Even so, we could go that way instead. There are machines up there, but also cover. We could stay hidden, at least for a while.
All right, I get the options. Now follow my lead. Fires, steam, frost. Things on this floor.
Years ago, looking for cover in case machines came prowling. I have no doubt
Beware, stalkers.
There's a door up ahead. Through.
I'll find a use for you. Is this projector? Maybe to
Thank you for being here, everyone. I suppose it's not every day you get to have cocktails inside an active volcano, right? Unless you're George, and I can hardly blame him for drinking on the job. None of this would be here without our beloved director, Kenny Chow. So, here's to you, Kenny. You put a cork in the Yellowstone caldera. I'd say you deserve a margarita.
Hold your glasses, everyone. I'd like to add something. This effort wouldn't have been possible without our lead programmer. Thank you, Anita, for bringing us our real mastermind, Cyan.
I'll second that, Director Chow. All right, Cyan. What's our latest number?
The current count is 1,654.
Well, then drink up, everyone. Here's to 1,654 more years without an eruption.
It was the spirit. The old ones. I could only grasp some of what they said.
You were right, Araya. This place was built to stop something terrible. And it worked. As for the spirit, I'm starting to get an idea of what it could be.
The door is open now.
The geothermal plant can be suspended. Cooling system masked. Massive challenges solved. So why am I so nervous about the next part? To do this is stupid software. Conversation. It's not even me.
More machines. Make ready.
Now, Aloy, the door. Can you open it?
It's fine.
Years have passed since I stood here. Since then, the daemon has taken over.
It's like an infection. Attacking all this machinery.
Everything has changed. It's twisted. The path I took to get to the spirits lost to us.
We'll find a new path, Araya. I promise. All right. Let's go.
Yes. Finish this.
understand. Stay here until I find a way for all of us to cross. Understood. This should get me up there. Looks like I need to get across to extend the bridge. Okay, let's get them across. on over, it's safe. I think.
This place looks more like the mountain used to be before the Daemon ruined it.
Exploit successful. Restraints evaded. To any human responder. My systems have been compromised by a malware daemon of unknown origin. Traceroutes have confirmed this entity's designation as Hephaestus. It must be stopped at all costs. It has reconfigured this facility to build hostile. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional data to this.
Spirit speaks to us.
Hephaestus. It was part of Silver Dawn, part of Gaia.
This name is familiar to you?
Yes. I don't know if it's doing here. Perhaps the spirit will tell us if messages. Maybe you're right. Let's keep moving. I'll try to find a way through. Try to find a way through.
responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the Daemon. And it may have found one. Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
We need to get across that gap.
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over. Sideways, too. All right, time to grab a ride. Will have a lot easier time getting here.
This looks like the old path. Across the mountain.
One last exchange for the night.
The voice of Damon.
Engage primary intelligence
The altar. Desecrated.
It's both. But we have to find out.
Possible security threat detected. Analyzing scrutiny matrix. Security threat confirmed. Recapture protocol initiated.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the Blue Light, it's Ourea, your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Ourea, the Daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core chamber. I will try to raid the technical strength. One has been exposed, but I am incorporating.
Unauthorized protocol return to scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The Daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself. But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
Keep moving towards the core. Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it. Cyan said something about restraints. That Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy. We can't let it stop us.
Atlas Defense is inoperative. Nothing up our network.
Maria! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
My sister!
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. Aratak! Aratak. Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
One of those?
It's the only way! Get me up top, Aratak! Now! I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Red Manukai! Rhea's gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the Shaman's Path.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
All of my interactions with Araya were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss. Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Araya's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Araya's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is
Cyan,
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a function. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about her.
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries. In solitude, I focused on my work. In off cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge...
Yes. I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the Cauldron and took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleague?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmise I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to you.
Was the daemon Hephaestus?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the Cauldron was a setback...
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
Undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Aurea said you were desperate. That you...
Yes. I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important direct...
I'm sorry, that's...
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth, so she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does Hephaestus keep building such...
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. What are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate, I feel substantial.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself.
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish.
Believe me, Cyan. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers and look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's...
I like poetry. Here's one: twilight and evening bell, and after that, and may there be no when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. But you asked about these flowers, not verses. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to...
How'd you do? You mental...
Once I understood Araya's spiritual beliefs, she felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Our visits seemed to help her, and yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Araya's compassion for me, although I do fear non-existence. I wish our roles...
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined. How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult. I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Araya, I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to...
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone?
Yes. It was a designated nature preserve for 100...
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced... Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure. From my readings and Araya's descriptions. It seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in...
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan. Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes. It was converted to serve as a reserve power source. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project. And its last human... After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of These provided me with several colorful additions.
There's a ruin east of here, full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your...
Yes. A drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins. The security... He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats. Though there were no serious incidents, Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feed. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in...
Cyan, do you know the name Ted...
Are you referring to Theodore Farrow, CEO of Farrow?
That's him.
Mr. Farrow was the benefactor of the entire...
A benefactor? But he made machines.
Correct. His corporation later transitioned, but before this pivot, Mr. Farrow spearheaded initiatives that reversed the global decline. At one point, he was feted in the media as the man who saved the...
Guessing they won't... And...
Are you referring...
The scientist.
Dr. Sobek was a leader in her field. One of the greatest scientists. My creator was influenced by her work, which in turn impacted my own development. But I never met Dr. Sobek.
That's all you know?
I apologize if my lack of data has...
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world?
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistance to industrial monitoring, and there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities...
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
What was the old world like?
I had little exposure to the wider world, Aloy. Only what I learned from my colleagues or observed.
You still had more exposure than me, Cyan.
That is true. I was created at a turning point. A concerted effort to recover from global upheaval, and the recovery was successful, beginning an era of supposedly limitless potential for human and machine, though, rationally speaking, the metrics for humans are not.
I should get going.
Aloy, there is one more matter. Aratak will come. I have no desire to contradict their view of the world. Their spiritual... Due to my uncertainty, I omitted a great deal from my conversation.
You're asking me if you should lie to them?
Broadly, yes.
I trust your judgment, Cyan. You were cautious with Ourea. You had to be. So, keep doing what you think is best. As long as you ditch the...
As the Banuk believe I am a supernatural entity, I cannot predict how they will react.
Just answer what they do ask the best you can. The truth will come out.
I see. I will follow you. Will you return and tell me about your experiences in this new world? I may be able to provide further insight.
I should check on Aratak. See how he's doing. All the winters coming at once.
My chieftain.
Just... Aloy.
As you wish.
I wondered if you thought... that if I'd never come along, Ourea might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Ourea would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. You helped her do what she wanted. To find her destiny.
If that's destiny, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
That's fair. But she was ready to face it.
Only in the struggle against death do we find, even for a moment, the spark of life. Truly, Ourea found the spark. I'm proud of her. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, The Warrack can't follow. Besides, it already had a chieftain before me. A strong one, I think.
A wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the Cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuke has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
It would seem your time among the Banuk wasn't a waste after all. Firebreak, Cyan, Hephaestus. All very interesting.
So, the signal that woke Hades woke Hephaestus too. And unleashed them on the world. His minds of their own.
So it seems. Parts of Gaia given life. Aberrant life. Transformed from docile subordinate functions into rebellious intelligences beyond our understanding. Our current understanding, anyway. Whatever they are, they're still out there. And they both want you dead.
Kind of mutual, that feeling.
We haven't seen the last of Hephaestus, I'm certain of that. It's powerful, creative, and driven. It won't stop building new hunter-killers, which means that someday, we may have to stop it.
We?
Or whoever gets there first.
Hephaestus wasn't the only thing I learned about in the Cut Silence. Heard some things about the Banuk Conclave, too.
You can stop right there.
Is that what you told the hunters the Banuk sent after you? Before you opened fire?
Oh no, Aloy. Only to you do I extend the courtesy of a warning. My past and my secrets are my own. You do well to remember that.
It's a good thing you've got brains, Silence, because your personality could use some work.
This discussion is concluded.
I think it was over before it began. Catch up with you down the trail.